This next magician moves fast. Take a look.
I started doing magic shows when I was 9 years old. And then I got a little older and I got into powerlifting. I was competing in national competitions, but unfortunately, to get more results, I started using steroids. Steroids can wreck your body. I had high blood pressure at the age of 20. I couldn't fit into my costumes anymore. I was huge. I started feeling guilty about not performing magic anymore. So I decided to go to a magic convention. And by luck, I just came across Spydini. Spydini was a living legend of magic. They called him the master of misdirection. I started taking lessons from him. He saw my dedication. He said, someday you could play at the Magic Castle. That night I went home, I threw out all the steroids. He saved my life. I'm performing this piece as a tribute to my teacher, the great Spydini.
The three randomly selected members of our studio audience, give it up for the magic of Tony Clark.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yes, I'd like to borrow those rings. We have one ring each. I need to borrow 3 rings for this. Just 1 ring per person. That's perfect. 1, 2, and 3. That's perfect. Now, these 3 rings are very important because they let me know that at least 3 people will be paying attention. Maybe 6, I don't know. Now, these rings are a very important part of the puzzle you're about to see. Let me show you the other parts. I have a box, which you can see is folded flat. There's no top or bottom, so you can see it's empty, completely empty, nothing inside. 3 paper napkins, a small platform for the box to sit on top of. This way you can see below it, above it, and around it at all times. Now what's gonna happen is I'm gonna take the rings one at a time, roll them up into a ball with the napkin, and drop them inside this box. The only thing is you have to watch really close, because I'm gonna do my best to make sure you don't see me put them into the box. But in the end, I promise you, they'll all be sitting right there. I started working on this routine many years ago with my mentor and teacher, the great Spydini. Unfortunately, he never saw this piece because he passed before it was completed. So this is an honor and a privilege to perform it for you right now. And as he would say, watch the hands and your rings. All right, now some of you may have missed that one. I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna break the magician's rule and repeat the trick. This time I'm gonna do it with no paper, just the rings. I think the paper is throwing you off. Here we go. Speed this up, shall we? One, two, three rings. Inside the box.
Tony Clark! Wow. That was cool. Hey, it was so touching you talking about your mentor.
Yes, it was, Spydini was a very big part of my life and literally is the reason why I'm standing here right now.
Oh.
If it wasn't for him, I would not be, I don't know, anywhere probably.
Oh, so do you think about him every time you do a magic trick?
All the time. His methods, he was known as the master of misdirection. And everything I do encompasses that theory in some way or another.
So do you think Tony Clark, Fool Us Trophy winner, would have a nice ring to it?
It would, because you know what? Here's a fun fact. Spydini's first stage name was Tony Fool'em.
Aww.
Tony Fool'em.
Well, let's find out if you fooled him.
Well, let's see.
All right.
Hey, Tony, boy, you are good.
Oh, thank you.
Just really, really good. Just so smooth at what people think of as sleight of hand. It's not often that the magician talks to us in code at the start of the routine to say how a lot of it was done. But we all know that the name Spydini, your mentor, is not only a name of your mentor, but also a code word we've used for all sorts of techniques. And, you know, we've been around the block a few times, and we know a lot of those Spydini moves. And to watch you do them and do them beautifully reminds us of why people do those moves badly. Because they see someone like you do them and go, oh, these are great moves. And they are great moves, but you've got to do them at the level that you do them.
Thank you.
And people forget that. It's beautifully done. And I got to tell you, it was beautifully done, and we followed a lot of it, but neither one of us saw you get that little box into the big box. And even though we feel like we might know everything else, neither one of us saw that or could even figure it back. So I got to tell you, Tony, even though you said the word Spydini, the magic word Spydini, even with that in our heads to start it, you fooled us, Tony. Nicely done.
Tony Clark! Penn and Teller couldn't figure out that last amazing trick, but we'll give them another shot when Fool Us returns.